We're going to welcome in Sonny. And Sonny, you there?
I'm right here.
Hey, Sonny, before y'all start this, Sonny, let me just tell you this.
Yes.
We've been doing this show for 4 days, and now I know just 4 days, and now I know how hard it was on you all those years you did the show carrying this man. I have been carrying him for 4 days.
Oh.
It's difficult, and now I have a better appreciation for you and how you felt doing that.
Well, thanks, Barry, because I really needed that. My back's been bothering me since I left that show, and also my reputation has gotten a lot better. I don't know why that's so, but this man, it's impossible to say the things that he's done to me. Not only did he beat me to death on the court, he has just injured me in so many other ways. But I'm very happy for you guys to be back on the radio. Seriously.
I owe you an apology for getting you up.
Yes, you do. Yes, you. Now that's number one to start with. Back when we had a show, we had a choice between doing it at 10 or 7. Wimp wanted to do it at 7 because he knew I didn't get up, so he figured he'd get to do more of the show that way.
He likes to talk, doesn't he?
Well,
all the time. What, Barry Switzer say anything that you could recognize?
No, he didn't say anything. He used some 4-letter words. He didn't say anything.
Oh, he did?
No, he's pretty good. Barry's pretty good. Barry's pretty knowledgeable. He's going to the Tennessee Oklahoma game this week, and I don't know what you think about that game. I think Oklahoma's going to beat Tennessee.
You know, I thought Tennessee Wimp was going to be, and Barry, I thought they were going to be really solid this year, but then Deputy Sheriff or two came to town, 2 or 3 drug fellas, and then all of a sudden they're back down to normal again. So I don't know. I'm thinking who we're going to have to play when they throw it up.
Well, you think Deputy Sheriff's from Roan Mountain?
Well, I do know this, that the Roan Mountain people have given up on them. They started pulling for North Carolina because somebody told them they were too close to the state line. They didn't know what state they were in. And I grew up that way, not knowing what state I was in, because my dad would fix a breakfast, and I think a little moonshine had something to do with it.
Well, Barry, I don't know if you know this or not, but Sonny's dad was a bootlegger.
Yes, he was.
Was he?
And he was a bootlegger, and I forget what they hid in the bed. I think he hid the whiskey in the bed, didn't he, Sonny?
Oh, yeah. Well, what they would do, they'd raid our house all the time, Barry. And we live up on this mountain, and my brother and I were the lookouts. We could see him coming, so we'd run and put all the liquor in the bed with my mother. And she's known as being real sickly. So they'd search the whole house, and they'd come over and pat my mother on the head as they was going out the door and said, "We're sorry to bother you, Ermy, but we're going to get old Greg one of these days." And they'd go out the door, and we'd throw the cover back and get right back in the liquor business.
Well, Barry, the thing about it is his dad was also the deputy sheriff.
Yes, he was. Yeah, we had a heck of a deal. We'd sell it to them, then follow them around till they got drunk and arrest them.
You couldn't beat that, could you?
No, you can't beat that. Can't beat that. And, hey, Barry, you take the things that I learned from my dad and the things I learned from Wimp. You think I can make it in the corporate world?
Oh, Lord, no. No wonder you're sleeping till 10.
Hey, are you doing the golf tip?
No.
I can't get anybody.
I haven't done it.
Well, here's the problem. Here's the problem. We can't find a guy to sponsor the golf tip because all the people in Tuscaloosa have seen him play golf, and I begged.
I can't play anymore. I'm not as good as you are in tennis.
I can't play that in the Cowboy Show anymore.
I'm
awful.
You may not be able to play, but I know how you call the line.
Oh yeah, now I am number one on line calls. I will say that. Yeah, anytime there's an argument, I'm in it.
Coach, I want to ask you one thing. Have you been down to Auburn's football stadium? I've heard and I know we hadn't got to use it yet, but I've heard all about this big jumbotron down there that they got. Have you seen that thing? Tell us a little bit about that jumbotron. I have not.
I've seen it on television. No, I go to basketball practice and pass right by the arena, but I hadn't been in. But it's something. It really is. Some people are afraid that it's going to reflect in the eyes of the people throwing passes, and maybe that's what happened the other day. You never know. Of course, we're playing in another state.
Sonny, how good is Auburn basketball going to be?
Well, if they're going to be better. The reason they're going to be better, they're bigger, they're stronger. They got more depth, and they recruited extremely well. But the thing that probably worries me more than anything is their schedule. They didn't. What they should have done was bring you down here and let you do the scheduling for them.
Oh Lord, yeah.
Hardwares, drugstores, and people like that, so they can win some games. But the thing about it, Wimp, I'm not sure that schedule, they can overcome that schedule. And I also think one other thing, I don't know if they got a guy that can score with the clock running down like T.K. Harrell did. You know, you could they could break up a play the defense could on the other team and really get after them, but he would break down a play at the end and just score. I don't know if they'll be able to do that, but they're going to be stronger, bigger, and they're actually going to be better. No question about that.
You ought to, Barrett, I'm going to tell you a great experience is to drive on 280 with Sonny behind the wheel. It would take you, I flip around every car I can, go from left lane to right lane, middle lane. Sonny gets way down in the seat, and you can there's a tip off to what kind of driver a guy is. He sits way down in the seat. that means he can't drive a lick. And Sonny would get way down in the seat, would get over in the right lane, and he was driving like a snail with concrete on his back. And we had I think it's a 9:00 show. We'd have to leave at 7:30 in order, because we didn't have any meetings. So we didn't have any meetings.
I thought y'all would be up preparing, y'all getting together.
No, we didn't prepare. We didn't prepare anything at all. And so we leave at 7:30, so Sonny could get in the right lane, sit way down in the seat, and listen to country music.
Wimp's got a greater appreciation for country music, and he also, if this show doesn't make it, which I know it's going to, he's going to get him a job. He's going to get him a job driving an ambulance, because he just flies in and out the traffic.
Well, I thought you were the NASCAR guy, though. I thought if you're the NASCAR guy, I thought you would drive fast.
Oh man, I'm a big time NASCAR guy, but that's only for vision only. I didn't learn to drive with that.
Tell them what time you took me to that NASCAR trip.
What's this now?
Tell them when I went up to the booth there at NASCAR.
Hey, Wimp, I've been begging him to go to a race, Barry, and I want him to understand how great this is. So I get him into the NASCAR suite, the main suite for NASCAR. Yeah. It was Winston Cup back in those days. Yeah. So I get him into the Winston suite.
I know it was free. He didn't pay for it, right?
Oh, Lord, no. Okay. No, you couldn't get him across the street if you didn't get paid for it. Hey, we go in there. We go in there, and they got the race on television, and all the people looking out at the race as they go around. He talked to 2 or 3 people and got up and changed the TV to the Golf Channel. And that went over real big, because we didn't get to stay in there real long. But we were in there with the top brass, and he changed it to a Golf Channel.
Y'all wonder why they came over there and gave you a to-go box and told y'all to get out of there.
That's right. They told us to go down and get in the stands.
Well, I understand that Jason Duffner lives next door to you, and I also understand that you really haven't told him that I'm a big fan of his, and I was rooting for an Auburn guy. I was rooting for Jason Duffner to do well, and I don't think you've even talked to him for me.
Yes, I did. I told him. I said that you were pulling for an Auburn guy, and he said there's a lot of things he believed, but that was one thing he didn't believe. But he's a big fan of yours. He knew a lot about you.
He don't even know who I am.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I'm telling you now. He's a big basketball guy. He comes to practice. But Wimp, they got rules in practicing now. I mean, I know you didn't have any rules when you was practicing. They can only practice 4 at a time. Have you ever heard of that?
That's what I heard, 4 at a time. I mean, why can't they go 5?
I don't know. NCAA got involved. They couldn't count, much less they couldn't catch or count you.
They can't go 4 at a time and then put the 2 managers out there to make it 5.
Yeah, they do. That's what they do. Chuck Person plays, and he's the best player they got. He'll get out there with them. You remember when Jeff Lebo was here coaching at Auburn? He didn't have enough people to practice, so he just practiced with them, and he was the best player they had then too. Yeah. It's a shame when the coaches is better than the players.
Is that new arena really mean a lot to them recruiting?
I don't think there's any doubt. It's they got about 9,700, I think, is the capacity, and they've been able to sell it out, and they've got the students involved, and they're at midcourt, and they're all over you, and they got them doing all the signs, and they've got teams that organize skits that they do, and it's turned into it's gone from a place that everybody wanted to come because they didn't have a home court advantage to having a great home court advantage. And I think it's great. A lot of people criticize the fact that it's really small, but I think it's helped them, to be honest with you.
Well, I wanted to ask you this. You know, you got Coach Saban and Avery Johnson up here, and then now you got Coach Malzahn and you got Coach Pearl down there. Tell us a little bit about those two guys and kind of, you know, what they're doing there with those programs and kind of how they're building each year. It's going to make for a great rivalry, kind of like it was when you guys were going against each other.
Well, Bruce Pearl, and I think Wimp would agree with this also, and you too, Barry, that Bruce Pearl is pretty close to the total package. He's so great away from the court. He's great at getting people to come to the games. He's great at making speeches. He's great at promotions. And his contacts has made it available for him to get on any show that he wants to because of him being on ESPN while he was. So he gets out there and he does a great job of promoting. And then he's always been a good recruiter, a very good recruiter, and he has already shown that here. And I go to his practices, and I've been very impressed with his ability to coach on the floor. So I think he's close to the total package. Now I don't know if he realizes that Auburn is a tough job. It's not as tough as it used to be because he's got a better facility to play in. But I don't know. You know, if the league weren't, let's say this, if the league was as strong as it used to be from top to bottom, and had a little bit more of a basketball reputation, I think he'd be a little bit better off. But I think he's got that to deal with also. You know, it's too much of a Kentucky and the rest of us type of league right now, and he's got a lot to overcome there. And Malzahn's just got it going. He really does. I've never heard but one criticism of Gus Malzahn, and that he does coach speak when he talks all the time. He doesn't. He will not get out and talk about anything else. He won't go overboard on anything, and that's pretty good when you only got that one thing going for you. And they love the style of play that he's got. And you know, the football programs together, I think. Well, I don't know the word to use, but it's unbelievable how good they are in this state. Alabama and Auburn.
Before we let you go, and I appreciate you being on, and I get asked this all the time, what's the difference in basketball over the years since you coached? How has it changed?
Well, I think it used to be a coach's game, and I think now it's a player's game. Used to, the players did what the coach lined up, and now it's all freedom play. And I don't know what really caused all of this. But you know, even the defenses sometimes look like they don't have a lot of structure to them. They're pressing, double teaming, doing a lot of odd things, and I think it's turned to where the players control the game more so than the coaches. And coaches now are positive motivators and getting people to play hard and managing the clock. And I think it used to be a lot more involved in coaching. And I don't know if you agree with that or not, Wimp, but I think that's the biggest difference.
Yeah.
And also the fact that they have a hard time getting players in school now. So you got in basketball real quick, you got fifth-year seniors, transfers, and foreign players make up most of your recruiting. You don't have many freshmen coming to your school. So I think that's another reason.
Well, we appreciate you being on, my man. I'm sorry I got you up, but you're always great to be on. I'm not going to bug you much, but every now and then I'm going to hit you up, especially when basketball starts.
Well, thank you for having me on. This show is going to make it big because you two are going to do great, and I'm glad you had me on. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. All right. Tell Jan I said hey.
I will, bud.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you.